was 2 years old when my parents moved to America in search of the American dream. I stayed behind with my big sister, living with my aunt and my uncle. I was born in a little village of Petén, Guatemala. I started the school at the age of 5, and I was quickly transferred to a higher grade. My teacher thought I was too smart to be in kindergarten, and I always wondered if I was smart enough to move to America to be with my parents. When I was 16, my sister and I decided it was time to move to America. We packed what we could carry and started our journey. Because of the danger, we did not tell our parents. We started our journey through Guatemala, then into Belize on a canoe, then into Mexico. We rode buses, taxis, and walked. 2 weeks later, we reached the border. We thought the Rio Grande was the last thing separating us from our parents, but it was not. On tired tubes with a group of 9 people, we floated and swam our way through the night. At daybreak, we were wet and freezing and had almost nothing, but we were on U.S. soil. We walked for 6 hours and waiting on the side of the road for a ride. It never came. Instead, while we were hiding in the bushes, I heard people running. I saw the police and also started running. I heard my sister screaming, "Daniela, me agarraron, regresa." I got caught, come back. They took us to a detention center, freezing and devastated. I felt that I was going to send back to Guatemala without seeing my parents. I fell asleep. When I wake up, my sister was gone, and no one could tell me where she was. I was flown from Texas to a detention center for minors. There, I was seen by doctors and received many shots. I was sick for days because all of the stress on my body. I was there through Christmas and New Year. Then I was moved back to Texas. On January 3rd, 2017, an officer said my parents were allowed to add me to the immigration process. I was going to be released. Shaking, I boarded a plane that would reunite me with them after 14 years. I could not believe it when I got out of the plane. My parents and my little sister, who I had never met, were there. Next to them was my older sister, who I thought had been sent back to Guatemala. I felt that my life was finally complete. At the time, my parents lived in Maryland. I was placed into a Spanish-speaking classroom. I did not like it. I was not learning English. My parents decided we should move to Natick, Massachusetts, where we would have the support of the family and better schools. The move was a culture shock. Because I was 16, I was placed into a sophomore year at Natick High. No English, no friends. I felt that I was in a role where I did not belong. I also knew I had a choice. I had spent 14 years away from my parents. I was in a detention center for almost 2 months. And now, after all of that, I was here. I was where I always wanted to be. I knew that I could feel foreign or decided that I belonged. I could not speak English, but I could speak football, or soccer as you call it here. I decided to use that language to find some friends and a place to be. I was hopeful, but after trials, I learned I was not good enough to be on the team. I felt that choice coming to me again. I could feel left out or try harder to find a place where I belong. I also remember that when I was little, my teacher told me I was too smart to be in kindergarten. I keep that memory close because it makes me feel I can conquer anything. I knew I could run. I had crossed the border. I tried cross country. I finished dead last in my first run. But this year, my senior year, I made it to the varsity team. Just like in a cross country race, I have learned that I just need to keep going. I don't know what is ahead for me. I hope it's in college. And I know that I have to keep trying. I have to keep trying to learn English, to find some friends, and keep looking for places where I belong. And I know when I look for those places, there are kind and welcoming people willing to help. So, to anyone out there who did not make the team, or who is looking for friends, or feels different in 1,000 other ways, keep looking, cross your own border, and make that choice that you do belong. Thank you.